we'll be more consistent every week. So let's get started. Welcome. We're going to use either 2 yoga blocks or 2 pillows. If you have just bed pillows is totally fine, or couch pillows will also do for this. So we're going to start nice and easy, nice and gentle on our backs. So let's arrange either pillows, and I do want you to have a strap. So grab that real quick if you don't have either of those near your side. A strap, a towel, whatever works. And then once you arrive back to that, we'll get started. So we're going to lay down the blocks, either the block or the pillow. So I want it on the medium setting, so nice and flat. And then you can have the other one for your head. So whether you have a pillow or the blocks, we're going to lay these down. And then we'll start right at your bra line or your rib line and lay either on the block or the pillow, it's fine. And then lay your head down. And so you can adjust the setting either way, just make sure you're comfortable. And then I would just like your arms to fall out to the sides, allowing the chest to open. If you'd like to even bring your arms over your head and let your hands fall to the earth, maybe that feels intuitive or comfortable. And then finding where your feet would like to lie, whether they're flat on the floor, or maybe you take a little internal rotation of the thighs and bring the soles of the feet on the floor. Just lay here and get yourself settled in. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale any tension, any excess energy you might need to get out to start your practice today. So as we lay here, just being in tune with your body and how you're feeling in this moment. Every day is different. And sometimes we feel a little bit more tense, a little bit more anxious. So just try to focus on that breath and breathe out any tension, any residual energy you might need to. And as we lay here and get more comfortable in this pose or this posture, just allowing your body to surrender into the earth, into the blocks or the pillows. Allowing the facial muscles to release, to let go, especially those jaws. And just allowing the tongue to fall away from the back of your, or from the top of your mouth. And just feeling your belly rise and fall. Maybe finding that intuitive Ujjayi breath, if that feels intuitive to you, in through the nose and out through the nose. We'll take another 5 breaths here, just allowing for that stillness, allowing for us to start our practice with no chatter, with calmness, with peacefulness. And just like a wave washing over your body, feeling that wave flush from your toes to the crown of your head and out through the fingertips. And then going the other direction. Just kind of thinking of your breath as the ocean. That peacefulness we get when we're there. And just one more breath. We'll start to bring some activity into our toes and our fingers, giving them a little wiggle. And then for everyone to bring your arms up over your head. And then bring your elbows down to your side like a goalpost. So kind of like an angel wings, we're going to reach our fingertips above our crown of our head, reaching above, and bringing the elbows down to your ribs. So we're displaying our arms out, allowing for the chest to open up here. Just reaching above your head, And coming down, just allowing for that goalpost shape to take place just by your sides for a moment, feeling the chest expand and open. Taking another breath. And bringing the soles of the feet to the earth. And let's do just like a little windshield wiper with the legs, just side to side for a moment. And then once you arrive on one side, roll yourself off your blocks. We're gonna stay on our backs though. So come back on your backs, release the blocks or the pillows, wherever you're on. And we're gonna start with the legs. So let's lengthen the, you can keep either both legs on the floor, or let's lengthen the right leg nice and long and bring the strap or a towel or whatever you have underneath that other foot. So lengthening it up towards the sky. And we're gonna work on some foot health and some really opening up those legs before we get into the bigger movements of practice. So giving a nice tug, let's just work on the hamstring stretch real quick, and then we'll bend and straighten that leg. And this might feel better on your spine if you bend the other leg. So it just depends how flexible you are in those hamstrings. If you're really, really tight, you might consider bending that other leg. So just a few times, now really lengthen that leg up and then pulling down. So hopefully that strap is right on the ball of the foot. So rather than the arch of the foot, bring in the ball right underneath the toes. And let's point and flex and point and flex. Now I really want you to emphasize the action of the toes, the action of the arches. So it's gonna go heel, arch, ball, toe, toe, ball, arch, heel. Getting that nice movement in the feet, giving your feet a little love. And then pulling your toes to your nose, and let's go side to side. You're gonna pull down on right to left. So the ankle is going to hinge from side to side. For 3, for 2, and 1. Now go ahead and take that strap with your left hand. So if your left leg is up, it'll be your left hand, otherwise the other side. And let's open that leg all the way out to that left side or your right, depending on what leg you got going on. So I gotta move myself over, you guys, wherever you're at. So hopefully you have more space than me. Open on up. So pressing down with the opposite hand on that hip, allowing for that hip to open up. You're just holding on with your hands. If you want to wrap the strap around your hands, you can also use a block or a pillow and put it underneath that leg. So just a little yin to start practice here. Just holding these poses just a little bit longer. Just allowing for that inner thigh to open, and you're welcome to also just the whole time keeping that other knee bent if you need to. We'll take just 2 more breaths here. Settling in. And then bring that strap all the way up, the leg all the way up, and let's cross the leg all the way across the body. So now we're in a nice twist, opening up the heart, maybe looking the opposite direction. If you need to bend your knee, you absolutely can. Trying to keep the legs straight if you can. Once again, if you wanted to put a block underneath that leg on the other side, you certainly can do that. So whatever feels intuitive and good for your body. We'll take just another breath or 2. And then coming back through center, let's go with half happy baby. So pull the knee in towards the armpit, and the elbow is going to come on the inside of the knee. Grab the base of the foot with your hand and pull downwards. So pressing down maybe with the opposite hip, so probably your right hip if you're mirroring me here. Open on up and take just another breath or 2. Try to relax the down leg that's on the floor. Personally tightening up my ankle unintentionally. So just being aware of your body. Excellent. Let's release the leg, bring it up to meet the other one, just shake it on out. Let's go ahead and do the other side. I'm going to kind of pivot myself so I have more space. Let's lengthen up that other foot towards the sky. And keeping the other foot, the sole of the foot, maybe your left foot now on the earth, or keeping it long. And then pull, working into the hamstring, trying to keep those the seat's on the floor, your tailbone on the floor, and then bend and straighten through that leg. So let's just work into that flexibility of the hamstrings. Bend and straighten. Let's go 2 and 1, and now into those toes, toe, ball, heel, heel, ball, or arches, balls of the feet, toes. So working the foot is what's moving. Your arms are just kind of guiding your foot. Flexing and pointing. 2 and 1, side to side, pulling with your hands. The hands are going to move the ankle from side to side, left to right. Oh, got to resituate. 3, 2 and 1. Pull into those hamstrings. Let's grab a hold with your right hand now. If you're on your right leg, otherwise, if the left one is up on your side, open on up. Good. I try to be explanatory, more explanatory with right to left. Sometimes it's hard with the mirroring. So just allowing that leg to open, opposite side, pressing the other hip down with your hand. If bending the opposite knee is more intuitive, please do so. Find what works for your body. Let's take a nice breath. And then we'll bring that leg back through center, and let's give a nice little tug, resituate yourself, and pull that leg all the way across the body, getting that nice glute stretch, the hamstring stretch, outer thigh stretch. Sometimes it's nice to just focus on stretching the muscles out to start things off before we get into some of the bigger movements. And let's come through center, resettle yourself. We'll come into that half happy baby, elbow on the inside of the knee, pulling downwards with the foot, allowing those hips to open, bending the other knee if you need to. Maybe rock it out a little bit. Take one more breath. And then release the leg with the other one. Release your strap, everything out of your way. Shake it out. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe play with your toes a little bit or rock them out. And let's rock and roll on our spines a few times. Maybe 5, maybe 3. And we'll all flip forward into all 4s. So let's come, actually, before we do that, let's come onto our seat. Let's come into a diamond shape. Now that we're sitting up, let's wiggle out. So like a diamond or a butterfly. Take a nice deep breath. Now we're sitting up nice and tall. Starting to awaken our bodies. All right, let's settle in, hinge forward, and then just round yourself on forward. Getting a nice forward fold. Getting that nice stretch in the spine. We're not going to hang out in the poses for too long. Just take one more breath. Settle into it. And then we'll roll ourselves on up, grow nice and tall, twist over to your left. Maybe you grab the opposite knee and twist looking over your shoulder. If this doesn't feel good on the hips, you're welcome to take a cross-legged position. That's fine. We'll take just another breath. Letting go. Sometimes it feels really nice to release through your mouth and switch the other direction. So whenever you feel that, if there's energy just building up in that chest or in that body, do a really nice like verbal exhale. It's so good to express noise, to express that energy wherever you need to, wherever it's holding on to, where you're holding on to it. And we'll come through center. Let's bring those knees together. Now let's flip forward, all 4s. So we're going to start getting a little bit more heated with the movements. Let's come into all 4s, wrists right underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. Drop the belly like the heart. Exhale, we round. Inhale, we drop and lift. Exhale, we round. And now let's start barrel rolling side to side. Nice big rolls. And we'll go the other direction. And then we'll find a nice neutral spine. Let's reach the left arm nice and long, the right leg nice and long. The heel reaches behind you. The belly button pulls up towards the ceiling or towards your spine. We're just going to balance here on this one today. So just take a moment, breathe, another about 15 seconds or so. Just connecting with your core, finding that alignment, that balance, finding that stability in the body. And reconnecting with your breath, always important. Let's bring the hand down, knee down. Let's just go right to the other side. So reaching it nice and long, pulling that belly button up and in, reaching. Gaze is down towards the earth rather than forward, or maybe slightly forward, just no kinks in the necks. One more breath. Exhale, hands to the floor. We're going to do a flow today that incorporates cat-cow, melting heart or puppy dog, and a little bit of sphinx. So let's flow. I'll guide you through it. Tuck those toes under. Let's press the hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Let's pedal out those legs. So each heel lifts nice and high, articulating through the ankles. Wrapping the biceps inwards, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, pressing downwards towards the earth. So the chest really reaches towards the thighs and the earth, and then the heels sink down towards the mat. Widen those fingertips, index fingers pointing forward. Take just another moment. Breathe. Lengthen, find that stillness in the pose. Or maybe not, maybe you're still moving. Maybe that's what feels intuitive. So take just another breath. Settle in. And then we're going to lift your heels nice and high. Look forward, gently walk yourself in between your hands. Let's take a forward fold. Feet are separated, grab opposite elbows. I like to do like a little figure 8. That feels really nice. You guys be in tune to what feels good for your body. And then find stillness for a moment. Your hands touch the earth and feel free to bend those knees if you need to. Shift forward and back. Work in the backs of those thighs. And then rolling your spine up one vertebra at a time, ever so slowly and gently. Inhaling the arms to the sky. Exhaling hands to heart center. Reset yourself. We'll take another breath here. Release, let it go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to our center. We'll fold forward here. Halfway lift lengthens. Plant your hands. We're just going to step right back into downward facing dog. Plant your heels for just a breath. Inhale. Exhale just a little bit deeper into that stretch. And then your knees come to the earth. Let's find that cat-cow for 2 rounds. Drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, round through the spine. Drop the belly, lift. Exhale, tucking that tailbone under. Good, nice and neutral. Reach those hands to the front of your mat or off your mat. Press your chest down into melting heart pose. So rather than child, the booty is really sticking up in the sky, and we're getting more of a pec opener, a pec stretch. So staying here for another breath. And we'll pull forward into Sphinx pose. So come all the way down, belly down, onto those forearms, chest lifts, head down and up for a few moments. Excellent. Good, hands back underneath the shoulders. Let's press on back. The full child's pose for just a moment. And we're going to tuck our toes under, press your hips on back, downward facing dog. All right, so we're going to flow through that a little bit. Let's pedal up those legs, sink the heels down. And then lift your heels nice and high, look forward. Let's walk or step in between your hands. Halfway lift to lengthen. Maybe pedal out those legs, let's fold, and let's just sway. Like an elephant trunk, releasing through the spine. Maybe even go all the way kind of around with the feet. like a full little half circle here. Let's go 2 and 1. Roll your spine. Inhale the arms. Exhale your heart center. Inhale right to the sky. Exhale, let's open our heart. Fly down. Halfway lift. Fold, plant your hands, downward facing dog. Here we go. Let's flow a little bit. Sink the heels, 1 breath. Good. Exhale, knees down. Wrist underneath shoulders, untuck your toes, drop the belly with the heart. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Neutral spine, arms reach forward, melting heart. Heart melts into the earth, stretch the pecs and the armpits. Maybe the forehead comes down to the earth. Beautiful. Coming forward, set yourself in the Sphinx pose, walk your feet back, open your heart. Looking towards the sky. And then right back, child's pose, press yourself back. For just a beat, tucking those toes to an active child's pose, pressing the hips up into a down dog. One more time through this. Heels lift, bend the knees, look forward. Walk in between your hands. Take opposite elbows or release your hands, sway side to side, keep it going. I'll take this off, getting in my way. Let's go 2 and 1. Find your center, halfway lift. And fold it with a flat spine. We're gonna lift up, reverse. All the way up. Exhale, hands to our center. Inhale, reaches. Exhale, open the heart, swan dive. Halfway lift. Last time, plant your hands, downward facing dog. Sink your heels, 1 breath. Lift your heels nice and high. Bend your knees, let's come to the earth. Cat cow 2 times, belly drops. Exhale, round. 1 time through. Neutral spine, hands come forward. Sink the chest down to the earth, lengthen on up. Tailbone reaches towards the sky, take a breath. Let's shift forward, Sphinx pose, elbows down, get yourself nice and long, lift the hearts. Looking up, looking down, neutral spine, hands underneath the shoulders. Let's press ourselves away, active child's pose. Take a moment, breathe. We're gonna tuck our toes, press down dog. Let's pedal it out a few times. And while we're here, we're gonna widen our feet now, sink your heels down, and then pivot your heels to the left. So both heels are gonna pivot. So our hips are gonna go to one side. We're still in the down dog. And then lift your heels nice and high, and let's pivot them over to the other side. Pressing down. Excellent, hang in there. Heels come through center, lift them nice and high. Bend your knees, let's step on forward. Just sway side to side. And then your hands are gonna come to the earth, maybe shift forward and back. Let's go ahead and step your left foot back. Bringing the back knee down, we'll rise on up, Anjaneyasana, press those hips forward. Maybe looking up towards the sky, take a moment, breathe. Let's open your heart here, and we're gonna close. So open, expand, exhale, bring it in. One more time. Exhale. Let's open up. We're gonna reach the arms to the sky, take a prayer here. We're gonna twist opposite direction. So if your right foot is forward, we're gonna rotate on over. Opening the heart, getting that nice twist. Take just a moment here, breathe. Feeling that nice rotation, looking up towards the sky. And then we'll reach up to the sky, back through center. Press it back in half Hanuman. So the toe is going to lift towards the sky. Nice flex foot, so we're pressing back to try to keep those hips nice and even. You need to kind of reset yourself. do so. We're just here for a moment. So the key to a lot of what we're doing, a lot of hamstring release here today. So let's come on forward, bend the knee. We're gonna tuck the back toe. Now pull that back foot in. So we're gonna be in like a forward facing triangle pose. So with a forward fold, maybe you have a hold of, like if you have pillows or blocks underneath you, or maybe you're just right here. Work on that flexibility and squaring those hips. Take just a moment. We're gonna go to the other side. Maybe you can reach to the earth. And then reaching those fingertips forward. If you can reach the earth, bring that back leg all the way in. Pedal it out. And let's just go right into it. Step the other leg back. Bring that knee to the earth. Let's rise. Press the hips forward. Open the heart and let's open and close. Bringing it in. Opening it up, expanding. Let's go 2 more times. Then reaching to the sky. Prayer twist, let's twist to the other side. So opening up that heart, looking towards the sky, getting that nice twist. Take just a moment. One more breath. Unwind here, hands come to the earth, press it back into that nice hamstring stretch. Have Hanuman, stretch the backs of the leg. And then front foot comes down to the earth, tuck the back toes. We're gonna press back, you might bring that back foot in. So both toes are forward, both hips are forward. Ooh, a little wobbly here. So wherever you need to be, whether it's right here is fine. Do what works for your body. Good. And then reaching those fingertips forward, we'll bring that back leg in. Let's just pedal it out. And then roll up your spine. We're gonna take a power pose. So separate those feet right underneath the hips. We're gonna reach those arms forward and try to keep your spine fairly upright or as much as possible. We're gonna sink down, bringing those hips on down. Can you hold this? Because kind of like a chair pose, but reaching those arms forward. The thighs aren't in nor out. They're nice and even, pointing forward. And we'll come up nice and tall, strong legs. I want you to squeeze every part of your body. Sinking it down. Take a moment, one more breath. Exhale, we rise. This next time, we're gonna lift high on our tippy toes. Let's try to focus on balancing. Reaching those arms forward. Like your back is against a wall, can you lower yourself down? Maybe you can go all the way. Maybe you're halfway. Hold strong, hold. Exhale, rises on up. Whew. Shake out those legs, excellent. All right, we're gonna get a little bit spicier with the movements here. So let's bring your hands to the hips. Let's step your left leg back into a nice deep lunge. So get comfy here. Square those hips, deep bend in the front leg. If you need to be a little higher, that's okay. So just be where you're at. And you can also bring that back knee down at any time. Let's reach the arms to the sky. So both toes are pointing forward. The back heel is lifted. We're gonna hinge forward like an airplane. So this works the whole rectus spinae, the entire spine, working on spine health, pulling the belly in. So pull back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, we hinge. Find the strength. Inhale. Exhale. Hold here. Hold. Breathe. Inhale. Good. Exhale, hands to our center. We're gonna do that prayer twist in that lunge though. So prayer twist to the opposite side. If you need to put your back knee down, absolutely, that is perfectly fine. Take just a moment, maybe looking up towards the sky. And then we'll revolve. We'll extend the left hand to the earth, the right hand to the sky. Take a moment, or if you're opposite, the whatever one's forward, maybe the opposite arm. Good. So the arm up to the sky is the same leg that's forward, just making sure we're all on the same page. Good, take a moment. Now we're gonna bring the back knee down. A little tricky here. So untuck the back toe. We're gonna swing that front forward leg into a modified side plank. So we're right here, modified side plank. We're gonna drop the toe to the earth and then reach it back up. So working on some strength, some flexibility. Let's go for 2. And 1, let's hold for just a beat. Take a moment here. Good, so I'm gonna be on the side with you guys. Good, and then bring the palm down to the earth. Tuck the back toe. We're gonna step forward and forward and then just shake out the legs. Roll your spine on up. Let's go the other side. So reset yourself. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale, let it go. Let's step back, I think, with the opposite leg. So I think it'll be your right leg this time. Step back. Sink into it. Gotta get my rights and lefts there. It's a lifelong process for me. Reach up towards the sky, lengthen that back leg. Let's come into that hinge. Little airplane, just strengthening up through that core. And hinging forward, opening up. One more time, let's hold that airplane pose for another 2 breaths. And then we lift on up, hands through heart center, prayer twist. We'll setting the back knee down if you need to. Finding that strength in the thighs, finding that twist, looking towards the sky. And then when you're ready, opening those arms up. Right hand to the earth, left hand to the sky, unless you're opposite of me. Take a moment here. Breathe. And we're gonna set that back knee down. Front leg swings around into that side plank. Lovely. Good effort. Good work. We're gonna lift and lower. Reaching, getting that nice side body stretch. Let's go for 2. And 1, hold it for just a beat. Bringing the hand down, bringing those hips together. Back leg swings in. Tuck the back toe. Right here, paddle it out. And roll your spine on up. Excellent. Let's shake it out. Let's widen our stance a little bit. So we're gonna do a little shake on here. I'm gonna just shake out some energy. So wide stance. We're gonna just close your eyes. And I just want you to shake. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It's a really great way to clear energy, the body. For 3, 2, and 1. Keeping your eyes closed, just stand up nice and tall. I just want you to feel the energy you created, the energy you got rid of. And just find that stillness. Feeling that energy flowing through your body, the energy you created. And finding your breath. And taking just 1 more breath. And releasing, letting go, rolling those shoulders back, open your eyes. Let's all step to the center. So we're going to take eagle pose. We're going to work on some balancing. So we're going to balance on your right leg. And we're going to take this leg and cross it all the way over. If you can bind. I'm not quite there yet. I'm getting there. Try to even out those hips. Another option, which I take a lot, is kickstanding the toe. So here we are. Open the arms now. We're going to bring the left under and the right over. Lift the elbows. Block your gaze. Can you sit down 1 more inch? Good. If you can float the other toe, by all means, the one that crossed over. Take just another moment, maybe lifting up the elbows a little bit higher. Settling in 1 inch deeper. Feeling the stretch behind the shoulder blades. 1 more breath. Exhale, unwinds you. Letting go. Let's just go right into the other side. So ground the opposite foot, cross that leg over, get comfortable, find that balance, kickstand if you need. Opposite arm this time, underneath, lifting, sinking. Feeling the stretch in between the shoulder blades. Take just a moment here. One more breath, sinks you just a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale, unwind it all. Letting go, nice. Just doing a little balance. We're gonna come back to that kind of hinging movement again into airplane, but this time into just kind of a balance to a lunge. So let's step back with your left leg. And we're gonna find that airplane here, hinging forward. We're gonna spring on up, whoop, find that balance. There you go, and come on back down. Reaching the arms up. So modification here, you tap right here and right back down. Full variation, if you can join me. And then coming back down. Nice, this next time we're gonna fly and hold it here, whether your toes down or it's up. Find the length and the strength of the body. Good, and then bring it on up. Whew. Shake out the hips. Nice work. Let's go the other side. Reaching back. Oops. Oh, floor is moving. Oh, hinge forward. And we're gonna spring up. Whoops. Apparently this is my interesting leg. Good. And we're gonna come back down. Spring up. Or you take that kickstand. So that might be where I'm at today. You kickstand. And you come back down. One more time. This next time though, after this, let's hold it. Find that airplane. Let's find that balance. Breathe. Oops. Good. Let's come all the way in and take a moment. Reground ourselves, reset. Let's take a nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to our center. Let's take just a moment. Okay, one more time, we're gonna step back. Hands on the hips. Step back. This time, we're gonna pivot that back foot. Let's straighten the front leg. So into Trikonasana. So the ankles aligned. One foot forward, the other one sideways. Reaching those arms out. We're gonna reach and come into triangle pose. Open your heart. Take just a moment here. And then we'll reverse this, swinging that arm up and back. So getting into that nice kind of back bend here. So reaching back, the legs stay nice and straight. Good, inhale. Open the heart. Exhale, we hinge. Looking towards the sky, really finding that length through the sides. Finding that strength, maybe your hands on the shin, maybe you're a little bit higher. So find where your body needs to be. And then the top arm is gonna sweep forward. We're gonna come forward into Prasarita. So toes are nice and wide. And then take opposite elbows and sway side to side. So it's a nice wide leg forward fold. Excellent. Find your center. Let's bring the hands to the earth and come into a little halfway lift. So lengthening through the spine. And let's find the side to side bend in the knees. Working into those inner thighs. Let's go 3 or 2 or 1. Hips come back, widen your stance even more if you can. Bringing the crown of the head down towards the earth. Grabbing your ankles if that feels intuitive. And then I want you just to shift forward and backwards to see if you can find that equal space or that equilibrium in your body. So where you find that balance. Just kind of shifting forward and back, finding that balance in your body, that center of gravity. Feeling the pull in the hamstrings. Take one more breath. A halfway lift with the spine. Maybe heel toe in a little bit. If you can, bring your hands to the hips. Lift up nice and high. Pivot the front foot forward. We're just going to spring on forward. Step forward. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. So step on back. We'll pivot that back foot. Straighten that front foot. So we have heel to heel alignment. Whoops. I need to put some sticky stuff on my rug here. Open the heart. We're going to reach and come on down. Trikonasana. Really open the heart, the chest. Take another breath. And your exhale reverses this, keeping the legs nice and straight. Inhale. Exhale one more time. Really pressing that hip over to the opposite side. Breathe. Then the top arm swings around into that forward folds. This time, let's take your hands if you can, interlace them behind your back. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you can reach the fingertips towards the sky. Pulling the shoulders away. If that's not accessible to you, don't worry. That's totally fine. Shoulders pull away. Maybe reset yourself by looking up a little bit, pulling the shoulders back, and then sinking back into it. Maybe rocking or swaying a little bit side to side. And then release your hands. Bring them down towards your ankles and widen your stance just a little bit more. And bring your hands underneath the shoulders, lengthen up. And let's just walk yourself over to your either right or left, either way is fine. And then do like a little forward fold on that thigh. So we're really reaching the opposite arm over. And if you need a more narrow stance, absolutely that is fine. And then we'll walk ourselves over to the other one, folding onto that leg, giving it a nice little hug. And then we'll come back to our center, lengthen through the spine. Let's just do that side to side movement again. Side to side. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Hands on the hips. If you need a heel toe in a little bit, lengthen up through the spine. Good. So you're all here. Pivot forward. Step on forward. Shake it out. Beautiful work. We are going to come on down onto our knees. So let's keep those toes tucked. As you've known or taken a couple of my classes, I like to do the toe stand. So toes are tucked. Unless they absolutely don't work that way for you, just come onto your heels. You can also be right here. You're still going to get a little effort into those arches. But if you're up here, it's a lot. So just take a moment. Breathe. We'll take a couple more breaths. I don't know about you guys, my feet have been real crampy lately, so it's important to stretch them out, take care of them. They gotta get you through life. It's so important to nourish, take care of. We just don't think about it too often. Let's untuck them, paddle them out. I try. We do our best, right? All right, we're gonna come up into camel now. So tuck those toes, or you can also keep them untucked. We have a couple options. If you're really flexible in that lower back, feel free to take that full variation, grabbing onto the ankles. But for the rest, we're gonna start with our hands at the low back, pressing those hips on forward, just opening up. So you might just hang out right here, and that's okay. If you can take it down to the ankles, and even if you can untuck the toes and open your heart into the back bend, that's fine. For those of you just wanting to keep it a little bit more gentle, hanging out here for a moment, maybe the head falls back. And if your hands are on your ankles, work onto your lower back and give yourself an upright, bring yourself in an upright position. Let's go ahead forward, bringing the arms behind you, coming into a little fetal position. Releasing that spine, rocking side to side. Take just a moment. Beautiful. And we'll roll it on back up. We're going to come onto our belly for another back bend, the last one of class. We're going to come all the way down. Let's do a few cobras before we arrive here though. So belly all the way down, hands underneath the shoulders. Lengthen out the legs, the tops of the toes touch the mat so they're not tucked. We're going to lift into our low cobras here. And exhale back down. Inhale. And exhale. Once next time we come up, let's come into a half locust, bringing the arms behind us, lifting, lifting. And exhale back down. And one more time, lift us nice and high. And maybe you bend your knees and grab a hold of your ankles. Maybe you're just right here, just energetically speaking. Or maybe you can grab a hold and lift those thighs up into bow pose. Shoulders back. Maybe massaging your belly a little bit with your breath. Take one more breath. Big inhale. Exhale, release as your knees come wide. Press gently up and back into a nice child's pose. So knees are nice and wide, or reach those hips back. Settle the forehead down. And just surrender the body for a moment. Let go. You release energy out the mouth, spine. Let's walk over to your left side. Get a nice side body stretch. We'll walk over to the opposite side and stretch it out. Bring it through center. We'll come onto all fours. Let's take a few cat-cows just to move through the spine a little bit before we come onto our backs again. Nice and neutral. Maybe you just sway it side to side, forward and backwards. Good. All right, before we just come onto one side, let's flip it on over. We're gonna do some hip opener stretches. I'm gonna start to unwind. So let's lay ourselves on down. So grab your blocks or a pillow, either one. 2 blocks or 1 block. 2 blocks is pretty intense. 1 block is nice and gentle, or a pillow is fine. We're gonna bring the soles of the feet to the earth. And lift your hips on up and bring either the block or the pillow under your hips. 2 blocks will be pretty intense. So really just whatever works for you. Make sure you feel comfortable in there. And then we're gonna lengthen your left leg nice and long and bring your right knee in towards your chest. So one of my favorite hip flexor stretches. I love this one. So if you're on 2 blocks, you're gonna really feel that nice, even deeper pull into those hip flexors, or a really fluffy pillow. And at any time, if this just doesn't feel good on the low back, if you're on a pillow, it should be just fine. But on a block, if it doesn't feel good, you can always just do it on the mat. Maybe just wiggle out the ankle. And then let's straighten that leg that you're hugging onto, grabbing the back of the thigh. And then just giving our ankle a little bit of a rock. In the other direction. And then we'll switch sides. So bringing the other leg nice and long, pulling that knee in towards your chest, allowing for that nice hip flexor release. Be wiggling out the ankles, finding stillness. Finding that breath, stretching out, especially those of you who sit a lot for work, doing all of these hip flexor stretches and getting the hamstrings and everything kind of stretched in opposite directions is going to be so beneficial for you. And let's lengthen that leg on up. Let's point and flex. Rotate a few times in each direction. Good. And now let's pull both knees into the chest. So if you have two blocks, you might consider removing one of them. We're gonna do legs up the wall. So get yourself comfortable. We're gonna bring both legs up towards the sky, and you might reset yourself. Maybe the block needs to come a little bit up or down. You'll find where it needs to be. So your feet are just gonna be hanging out in the sky. A little bend is fine. Your hands just rest to your sides. And so your legs should essentially feel pretty effortless in the sky. If they feel like they're gonna fall down, try to reposition your pillow or your block. And so the legs are just floating. So this is the modification of legs up the wall. So ideally you would have a wall and your feet would just be up them, but this is a great option for a relaxed inversion. Normally inversions are very energizing, where this one can be very restorative and very relaxing. So it's so good to flip ourselves sometimes and get the blood circulating in a different direction. So at the end of your day is the perfect time to do this pose. I need to remember to do it more. I have poor circulation, so it's just so good for the body. Just take some deep breaths, settle in. If you need a deeper bend in your knees, do so. My legs are feeling a little fatigued today, so a little deeper bend feels good. And if you want to move through your ankles, feel free to do that. And then we'll just open the thighs on out into a nice straddle. So just opening up, grabbing a hold of the thighs. Maybe rocking out a little bit just for a quick little stretch here. And then we can bring the knees back in towards your chest. And then bring the soles of the feet down to the earth. Lift those hips on up. Bring that block out of your way. Just set them aside. Let's pull both knees into the chest and just rock it out side to side. Let's take both knees in your hands and we'll give those hips a swirl. And then the other direction. And then let's lengthen one leg nice and long again. And we're just going to do a supine twist. You can also do this with both knees together. That might feel good to you right now. So whatever feels good, either the bottom leg long or both legs bent. Opening up the heart, trying to get the shoulder blades towards the earth, opening up, looking to the opposite direction. And just relaxing into it. Supine twists are the best. My just go-to favorite restorative stretch. And just take a couple more breaths. And then we'll bring our knees back to your center, hips. We'll go towards the other direction, the other knees go to the other way, or you can also extend that bottom leg if you're doing that on the other side. Open your heart, look to the other direction, or look in the other direction. Twisting through that midline. Just take a moment. One more breath. The inhale will bring you back up to center. Let's do one more thing. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Opening up the knees. If you would like blocks or pillows on the outside of your knees, that's fine. And let's bring one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. We're going to do about 5 rounds of circular breath. So it's an in count for 4 or 5, a hold for 4 or 5, an exhale for 4 or 5, and a hold for 4 or 5 seconds. So I'll count a 4 count. If you want to breathe a little bit deeper, a little bit longer, absolutely. So just feeling your belly rise and fall underneath your hands. So we'll take an inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Next 3 rounds on your own. If you want to take it a little bit longer, do so. Feeling the belly fully expand and holding that breath for a beat. And then exhaling the same distance out and holding. Just following your breath, following that rhythm. Just one more time through. On your last exhale, I want you just to relax your body. Bring your hands to your sides. Maybe extend the legs out. If they're feeling nice where they're at, feel free to just stay in that cobbler's pose. Get yourself comfy into Shavasana. You need to put on any clothing, a jacket, put a blanket over you, do so. Let's just take it down here. And the arms fall where they please, so do the legs. Just get yourself comfortable. And this is the time for stillness, time for surrender, for release, letting go. So just taking this stillness, this quiet time for yourself. I'm going to stop talking for just a few minutes and just allow you to be still. And just listen to your breath. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana. Just enjoy the stillness. If you're ready to bring some movement back in your body, feel free to start wiggling your limbs. And then reaching your arms maybe over your head for a awakening stretch. You can roll over onto one side, bending your knees, or just staying put. And taking just a couple breaths to settle in. And when you're ready to work yourself up into a seated position, feel free to do that. Unless you want to just stay laying there. We'll come to a comfortable seated position if you are arising with me. You're welcome to bring your hands down to your knees for grounding, maybe up for receiving, accepting. Whatever you feel you need right now. And just take a nice deep breath. Exhale, letting go. And just one more breath. Exhale. We'll all bring our thumbs to heart center and just take this moment of appreciation, of gratitude for our bodies and everything they do for us. And just keep in mind the time of the year that we're living in, the falling of the leaves, the transition of the fall. And this is a time for letting go, a time for transition, a time for a little bit more clarity. So releasing the old, the garbage, the bad, the things that don't suit us anymore in our lives. And just allowing for this time of clarity, this time of transition. I know most of us are feeling it strongly right now. So much change in the world. So thank yourself so much for just being present through this hour and for taking this time for yourself. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you today. Namaste. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. If you want to chime in, feel free to do so. Other than that, I will see you either in a Pilates class or in a yoga class next